Welcome to Bad Habits You Can Take Advantage of, Part 3. Today I go from Zelda to Ganondorf, finishing the second row of characters. I also consulted each character's discords to help confirm or deny my ideas for each character, and they were all super friendly and helpful, so thank you to everyone who helped out. This video will showcase habits that many beginner to mid-level players have, and I will also try my best to pinpoint the level of play that these habits are most common at. For an explanation on each of the levels, make sure to watch Part 1. So, starting with Zelda. Zelda's neutral B can be a great combo breaker, having intangibility as early as frame 4. But a lot of Zeldas love using it too often and predictably, especially when they are landing or really in any type of disadvantage. The move has a pretty good amount of end lag, but don't get too eager to punish as there is a final hitbox that is even bigger than the initial hitboxes. So if you have a non-guaranteed combo, you can try and bait it out and then punish it hard. If you are at a higher percent and a Zelda is sitting in shield, they probably have up B out of shield on their mind. It is an insanely good out of shield option, but also very risky. If you land with something even mildly unsafe on shield, you may die to it. Holding left or right as early as possible can help to avoid it, but a lot of times it will true combo. So do not get too aggressive against a shielding Zelda, especially if you're at kill percent, and try and bait it out by landing close to their shield with an aerial, or if you have a very safe aerial, doing that and then shielding right after. Speaking of up B, many Zeldas love to use it aggressively, sometimes even in the neutral or when coming back to the stage. The second hit of the move is definitely reactable, and you should be able to shield it in time if you weren't doing something else, but it's easiest if you go off of the sound cue. There's a very distinct sound that Zelda makes when she up Bs, so be ready to shield it, and if she lands near you, be ready to punish with an aerial out of shield. Down B can be very hard to deal with. If you're at a far distance, you might be tempted to run in and jump over the move, but that's often what the Zelda wants you to do and is preparing for, and she will be ready to hit you with an aerial. Now if you run in and shield, the Zelda will run up and grab you. So a lot of times you don't even want to challenge it if you're too far away when she starts charging. If you have a reflector, that can work, but be aware Zelda can reflect it right back. If you are close enough though, you may be able to get in time and punish with a quick move. The same goes for Din's Fire. If the move is used too close, you will have time to run in and punish. Zelda's down throw is a great combo starter, but at high percents doesn't have any guaranteed follow-ups if you DI correctly. Now if you don't hold anything, Zelda can get a back air, and if you hold inwards, you can get hit by up air. So at these higher percents, you just hold away the opposite direction Zelda is facing, and you should be fine. Like Zelda, Doc has a great up B out of shield coming out on frame 3 and can kill very early. Similar to Zelda, if you see a Dr. Mario shielding against you, especially when you're landing, do not land on his shield with an unsafe aerial. Dr. Mario's recovery is pretty bad, but his down B can help him to make it back sometimes. But this move is punishable, so if you hit him off stage, be ready to be at a safe distance, and once the down B comes out, be ready to punish. But just like with Zelda's neutral B, there is one last hitbox you might not expect, which is even bigger than the other hitboxes. So make sure to know the timing. Dr. Mario's also love to use down B when landing, or just aggressively in general, so it's really just best to know the timing of this move and the best way to punish it with your character. Also, Dr. Mario has a scary kill confirm in down throw to down B. At certain percents it is true, but you can DI it away and avoid the down B sometimes. But the problem is, when you DI away, sometimes that can cause you to die earlier at mid percents, since you are DIing towards the blast zone. So it might not be the best idea when you're at too low of percents. Like many other characters, Dr. Mario mains love getting flashy edgeguard kills. Now down air spike is actually pretty mediocre, only being active for 2 frames, not having a huge hitbox, and is pretty much just a worse version of Ganondorf. It can kill pretty early though. This is used to catch characters recovering low, and forward air and down B can be used to catch characters recovering high. So be aware of all of these options, and also be ready to reverse edgeguard him, especially if he goes too deep. Dr. Mario has some great combos at low percents, many of which start from a grab. At low percents, Dr. Mario will probably be fishing for that grab, so be ready to spot dodge and punish, or just beat it out with an attack. Despite having a little bit different of playstyles, Pikachu and Pichu have pretty similarities in bad habits, so make sure to watch part 2 for the Pikachu bad habits. One big difference is Pichu doesn't use down B to break out of combos nearly as much as Pikachu. This is for a few different reasons. Pichu takes damage when using down B, so he can't throw it out as easily, and Pichu also is a little bit lighter than Pikachu, and if the opponent can read a bad Thunder, Pichu will find themselves dying even earlier. Now, Pichu has some crazy combos. His lightning loops can erase stocks left and right when done correctly. However, almost no low-level Pichus can do it with any consistency, but they will probably still try and do them. Down tilt and up tilt can help to initiate the combos and are great combo starters in general. At low percents, Pichus will often be looking too hard for these combo starters, so do your best to avoid those. There isn't a super simple solution to beating these out with every character, but just knowing that this is what the Pichu has in mind is half the battle. Some Pichus may only know the grab combos, so they might be looking for grabs instead of down tilts and up tilts, so really just watch out for all three of these. Pichu's up B doesn't have a hitbox and can be surprisingly easy to catch and beat out. Like Pikachu, Pichu players have to be very precise with their angles or they may SD, so many beginner Pichus may just opt for landing on stage or going for a very easy angle. This move is easily beaten out by long-lasting hitboxes like a neutral air. There's also a decent amount of end lag on the move if they land on stage with it, so you can often catch them with that and then punish hard. Just like with Pikachu, up throw to Thunder can be a kill confirm. On the receiving end, make sure to DI left or right as early as possible because many low-level Pichus will not try and guess your DI or try and even follow you. So if you get grabbed, make sure to hold a direction. Like with Pichu and Pikachu, despite Fox and Falco having different playstyles, they share some of the same bad habits. Falcos often land on stage with side B since it can lead into some follow-ups, but it's a very risky option because on block it's very punishable. You can often bait it out by not waiting and shield at the ledge and then shielding when you think they're going to side B. Now sometimes it isn't intentional and they will just miss snapping the ledge. Either way, be prepared to punish it. You see this a little less with Falcos than you do with Fox. Falco mains love their flashy edge guards, probably a little too much. Just like with Dr. Mario, despite having a pretty exploitable recovery, I often find Falcos being some of the most aggressive edge guarders. They love getting kills with side B and down air, but also be ready for a long-lasting forward air. If a Falco goes past you when you're recovering, they're probably looking for that side B, and if you're recovering straight up, prepare for a down air. The best way to avoid these depends on the character, but they're not too hard to avoid. The forward air is probably a little bit harder. At kill percents, Falcos love to try and land an up tilt. This is because they can combo it into a back air to kill. Now, the reverse hit is better for them, and it's not super punishable on block. It also can be really good for shield poking. If you're a small character, you can low profile the reverse hit, but the front hit does dip down a little bit. So try and bait this move out, but watch out for shield pokes, especially after a landing forward air. Falco's incredibly high jumps can help him to surprise opponents after an up throw who think they are safe. The move can be DI'd left or right, and many Falcos rely on you not holding either direction. You generally will want to hold the direction where you'll get forward aired and not back aired, but really, just holding a direction is better than not holding anything at all. Falco's lasers can be a good option when Falco is far away, but the end lag on the move is surprisingly high. So a lot of Falcos will get greedy after landing one of them and keep throwing them out from not so safe distances, so be ready to punish those. Lucina's lack of tipper but stronger base of the sword makes her a different character than Marth, but in terms of habits and playstyle, they aren't too different. Their up B or Dolphin Slash is one of the best combo breakers in the game and also an amazing out of shield option. The problem is, unless their opponent is at kill percent or there are platforms to help them out, it's sort of a high risk, low reward move, and can sometimes be punished on hit at low percents. So make sure not to land on their shield with an unsafe aerial when you are at kill percents. Now this next one applies to pretty much every character in the game with a counter, but beginners will often spam counter when they're in disadvantage or in the middle of a combo. The visual indication of the move actually comes out before the move works, so if you see this stance while you're doing a combo, you now know that they were trying to counter in that situation. oftentimes they won't know that you know that they were trying to counter and will go for another one. This can be a time to prepare for a hard punish. If you have a non-guaranteed combo and your opponent is counter happy, it might be best to try and just not go for the move and bait out the counter. Marth and Lucina have some great aerials and can be very safe on shield. But a beginner player might just look at that and spam the aerials thinking they can't be punished. The thing is, safe on shield is dependent on how you use the move. So doing a rising aerial with Marth and Lucina is not a great option, outside of doing something like a jump read. You want to land on their shield with an aerial, that's how the move is safe. So if you see your opponent doing rising aerials, you can often shield and punish those with the fast out of shield option. They also just love jumping a lot in general, so try and call out their jumps. Youngling's aerials are very safe on shield. A landing back air and landing forward air are both good combo starters, but do not try and punish these options on shield. What you can do is try and see what the youngling does after landing on your shield with an aerial. Many of them will just try and shield or spot dodge your attempt to punish them. So shield the aerial and take a mental note of it, and then be ready for it next time. A lot of younglings like to up B out of shield, which can be a good option. Now it's not incredibly fast out of shield, and is pretty punishable on block. But like with other characters mentioned, the move lasts slightly longer than you would expect, so don't rush in too early. Also, do not drop your shield too early. There isn't a ton of end lag after the move, so you're going to have to be ready with your punish if you are outside of the range of the move. And just like with Link or any projectile user, try and notice patterns with how they use their projectiles. It can be way easier to get in on your opponent if you know they always throw out 2 arrows after using their boomerang, so just watch for patterns and general trends. And of course I have to mention down air, which is decently safe on shield since they bounce off of it. When done from high above, they can auto-cancel the move, so don't rush in and punish if they do it from super high up. Instead, try and attack from the side or above the move. But if they don't auto-cancel it, you can rush in and punish. Ganondorf can be incredibly scary at low levels of play. His powerful smash attacks with huge range can destroy anyone not prepared for them. Now, I've tried to avoid the specific habit of overuse of smash attacks since it's a universal rule of low-level players, but for Ganondorf's, it's particularly bad. And that's because there's a ton of reward for hitting them, while also being surprisingly difficult to punish. Now, first off, don't sit in shield if you are in range of a charging up smash or forward smash. They can break a nearly full shield, so try and get out, or spot dodge if you're feeling good in your timing, but I wouldn't always recommend doing that. If they're not charged, they are unsafe on shield, but do push you back a little bit. So for a lot of characters, a move like a forward air out of shield can do the trick. Be careful about landing on platforms, as up smash covers pretty much the whole thing. Now, kind of similar to Donkey Kong, at low percents, Ganons can be very predictable looking for a combo starter like dash attack or dash grab. A spot dodge can be both of these options, but you can also just dash back and punish. If the Ganondorf notices that you shield an approach, especially after a dash in, they will often come in with a side B the next time. Now I usually like to just try and jump or do an aerial to punish it, but there are a few other ways of beating it out. But let's say you do get flame choked. You then get sent into the ground with an option to tech the move by pressing L or R right before you hit the ground. Now you can sort of buffer this option by holding it right before you fall, and then hold the direction that you want to go. Now, a lot of players do not tech, and the down tilt is guaranteed after a missed tech. This can kill at decently early percent, so you will see a lot of beginner Ganondorfs exclusively using down tilt after a side B. So just do a tech roll away in that case. Now there's a whole level of mind games with this move, but tech rolling a certain direction is usually a good option. Some slightly better Ganondorfs will always try and cover the last option that you did, so it's best to just try and mix up what you do. Ganondorf's burst options can be pretty good, but many Ganondorfs do them at too reactable of distances. So being mentally prepared for these options that Ganondorf has and trying to stay at a distance where he can react to them will help a lot. Also, many Ganondorfs like to down B to start off a match, so especially be ready for that. Ganondorf's up tilt is an iconic move, but not a good one. Almost everything it does is done better by F smash, and often relies on the opponent's confusion and lack of understanding of the move. It's often used when the opponent is coming back to the stage. Knowing the timing of the move and that there's a win box can help a lot. It also can break a full shield, so do not shield this move. It also hits surprisingly high up, so don't just carelessly jump above it. I don't even think I need to talk about this one, but don't get hit by Warlock Punch. You don't want to shield this move if your shield isn't completely full, and you also don't want to try and rush in and attack him because he does have super armor on the move. Also watch out for reverse Warlock Punch, but really you shouldn't be getting hit by this move. Now, when Ganon is up a stock or at much higher percent than you, you'll often be looking for side B when coming back to the stage. The move drags you down to the blast zone, resulting in both of you losing a stock. However, you actually can mash out of this move now, so if you're on a stage with a big lower blast zone, you actually will be able to mash out, and if you have a good recovery, can sometimes make it back. So if you do get hit by this move, you can try your best to mash out. Now, I like to try and bait out the side B and punish it if they use too high and land on stage, or just don't grab the ledge. But always remember to be careful when standing at the edge of the stage. So thank you guys so much for watching and for all of the support and feedback on my previous videos. Also thank you to all of the Discords for helping me out, and a big thank you for all of my Patreon supporters. And also thank you again for watching. Peace.